I like Dr. Pepper. Fucking love Dr. Peppy. Anyway, Kagurabachi time.
Sometimes you gotta close the door to open a window.
Chapter 27 of Kagurabachi has arrived and we are finally here at the door. The steps of the Rakuzaichi. And Chihiro has pulled up to the function with fucking Sojo's Enchanted Blade. I mean, it's not really Sojo's Enchanted Blade. It technically does belong to Chihiro and his dad, but we'll get into that in a second here. So anyway, if you're new here, just make sure to like and subscribe. And anyway, let's just get into the chapter. We open up here with Shiba playing the double agent. He's managed to infiltrate the auction and he's already just casually speaking to this clueless idiot who has absolutely zero idea who Shiba is. And basically, I think that's just wonderful. I think that is just the most Shiba moment ever. I love how nonchalant this dude is around fights, around just any encounter he's involved in. But it turns out Kiora has made everyone aware at the auction who Shiro is and when he may arrive, and has even handed out flyers to all of the guards with a 50 million yen bounty on Chihiro's head. And it describes Chihiro as 170 to 75 centimeters, which is about 5'5". So we love a short king. Shout out to the short kings. One like equals one short king who gains $50 instantly. I don't make the rules. That's literally what happens. Anyway, this random goon that Shiba is talking to here mentions how the whole city sleeps when the auction comes around because it has such an influence on the city that regular people simply, they just don't want to be involved within the violence or the event itself. And it just go to show you just how corrupted and messed up the world is that these dudes are holding this event they're holding this event in plain sight without a care in the world. The Sazanami family must be strong enough to recognize that no one is going to stop them, and considering that this has happened 208 times now? Yeah, the Sazanami family must be strong enough to just not be trifled with. Either that or crazy crackpot conspiracy theory. The Sazanami family are one and the same with the Kaminabi here. Kinda was a little bit suspicious about how the Kaminabi are just randomly going to the auction to buy the Sacred Blade, but the Sazanami family, maybe there's connections there. Maybe they've got a mutual friendship. Anyway, also, did I mention that this chapter's title is also called Mr. Inazuma? Yeah, Mr. Inazuma. Yeah, he's a little kid who has decided to be a superhero who was influenced by manga. He just like me for real. Anyway, he rocks up to this auction with his sister and he mentions how he's scared of thunder. Now this part, very important, keep it in mind. You must remember this. But it turns out that the Rakuzaichi is holding this kid's sister and is preparing to auction her off. Like I said just previously, this world of Kagurabachi is pretty brutally unapologetic for its crimes, and its crimes encompass a whole lot of stuff: human trafficking, murder. The list probably goes on and probably goes a lot darker, to be honest with you. Anyway, Mr. Inazuma here, demands that the goons at the gate free his sister, and he ends up stabbing one of them in the arm, which I think it's a ballsy move. I can't lie, it's pretty baller of Mr. Inazuma here. Mr. Inazuma seems like he's going to be a cool dude when he grows up. And while all this commotion is happening, Shiba and this random goon he was just vibing with here are noticing that Chihiro himself, the main man of the event, has rocked up. However, the guard is very confused because Chihiro's rocked up with not just one arm, he is rocked up with two arms, meaning it turns out Chihiro has both of his arms back, and I'm guessing Shaw has figured out how to heal limbs. And honestly, while I am a little bit I am relieved that this is the case, but I am also kind of sad about it because I did like the idea of the world and Chihiro's battles. I like the idea that they carry consequences, they carry on into the future. I liked what Takeru had done by maiming our main hero. I know that sounds kind of brutal and cruel and fucking edgelord for me to say, but it's different and it was unique. So while I am happy Chihiro's back to full health and we do get to see him rock at his full power here, I am kind of sad that his arm is healed because it made him unique, and I would have liked to see the protag overcome adversity with this. However, his arm is all bandaged up, so it may not be his normal arm. It could be a prosthetic. Who fucking knows? Anyway, Shiba mentions how he's gonna go help Chihiro right here, and this goon turns around. He's like, who the fuck is Chihiro? He just hasn't even got a clue. This dude is so clueless, and I love that for Shiba. He's just been vibing, talking to this dude. Anyway, we cut back to Mr. Inazuma here, who is having a flashback to his sister mentioning how lightning never strikes the good kids, and it is obvious that this kid is scared of thunder and lightning. But we'll see him having his mind changed about that soon, because Chihiro arrives toting the Cloud Gouger Enchanted Blade here, and he erases this fucking dude's arm. Like, it is definitely very reminiscent of Sojo here. And even though Mr. Inazuma was only just introduced within this chapter, I like that Takeru is showing this kid facing his fears and trying to save his sister, and I also like his fears of thunder and and lightning here are being represented in Chihiro, and it ends up being Chihiro who ends up saving him. I really like subtext like this. It really makes me happy. I don't even know if you can call this subtext here, but I just like there's this like little parallel, especially now that Chihiro is obviously wielding Cloud Gouger. In my head, also, I like to imagine here that when he draws the sword and activates the abilities for it, like specifically May, we hear thunder and lightning from like maybe the swords. It's kind of similar to that one yellow-haired dude from Demon Slayer whose name I'm completely forgetting right now. Anyway, the goons here start screaming about how Chihiro is here and he only has a normal blade. Oh boy, y'all fucked up. However, we do get this interesting moment here of Shiba and Chihiro talking in the car, and I'm going to guess that this takes place in the timeline just before they make it to the auction here, but Chihiro mentions how he'll handle the riffraff and that he made up his mind a long time ago, and we're shown this one single panel of water. It's like a beach here, and at first it reminded me of Kazane when he was injured and he was just sat on the beach just sort of observing the destruction that Sojo had just caused here. But it could also be something completely and utterly different. Maybe Takuro is getting into the deeper parts of Chihiro's trauma after his father's passing and assassination. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Am I tripping over that? Or maybe I'm reading a little bit too much into it. Anyway, this is where we get to the big, fat, juicy panels of the chapter. We see Chihiro activating Cloud Gouger and he looks menacing. It is an all-black panel, which is nice, as opposed to it being sort of backlit and him having the fishes flying around him and having a sort of watery, liquidy substance floating around him. No, we've got Chihiro shrouded in darkness as he activates this, and I wonder if that's like, maybe again, I could be really deep diving this here, but I wonder if this is just sort of Chihiro trying to mentally process that he is now using the same sword that his biggest fight in the series used to butcher loads of people. I wonder, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, Chihiro here having Cloud Gouger does confirm some things for us. One, the copium that Sojo may have survived somehow, that I have been peddling now for a while and a couple of other people have been peddling now for a while, is definitely over, which makes me sad. But because Chihiro here, if he has this sword, then that means that the life contract with Sojo and Cloud Gouger is broken, because otherwise Chihiro wouldn't even be able to use these abilities. So it definitely means that Sojo is dead. But I'm not ruling out the possibility of a possible resurrection. Who fucking knows? Anyway, number two, it turns out Chihiro has a Dat and Sekai laying around to forge and repair the sword itself, or at least that's how it seems. Maybe Chihiro could just have reforged the sword together, as it was a very, very clean break. But honestly, I'm not too sure. We do know Chihiro's dad taught him how to forge because we saw it in the first chapter of the series. So maybe, who knows? But anyway, this chapter ends. It ends out with Chihiro talking about how the operation will start when Kagura takes center stage at 12. And honestly, I am extremely fucking excited for this arc. The amount of players involved in this multi-layered, multi-way fight for all of these swords is unreal. We have Kagura, we have the Sazanami family, we have the Kaminabi, we have Hiyuki, who's probably going to be acting independently of the Kaminabi here, and then on top of all this, we have Chihiro and Shiba here, and I'm really excited to see where all this goes. It does remind me a little bit of Hunter x Hunter. Like I mentioned, it does remind me of the York New City arc. Yeah, but the way all these parties are all coming together does kind of remind me of like a grand scale One Piece fight. The way Oda used to lay out several factions and several parties all with their own plans. Well, I say used to, he still does. But this is what it kind of reminds me of here. But anyway, that's everything from me. Really enjoyed this fucking chapter. If you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe for more Jujutsu Kaisen content. Jujutsu Kaisen content? Or Kagurabachi content? Both of them. I do both of them. Anyway, that's everything from me. I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Much fucking love. Big fucking kisses. Peace.